This one I have one instrument. Oh, actually, so one instrument is its ability to give correct readings. Actually, one instrument. Actually, so one instrument is its ability, the ability of that instrument, ability of the instrument to take correct readings, correct. We say to read correct values. Yes, because the wrong value can be read correctly. The wrong value can be read correctly. To read a correct value. To read the correct value. Yes. Actually, the one instrument is the ability of that instrument to read a correct value. They actually say of an instrument. They actually say of an instrument can be increased, by, yes, you're going to look at ways of increasing the level of accuracy of an instrument. What do we do to ensure that whenever there is instruments, we can get accurate values? When you get this knowledge of accuracy, you can even use a faulty apparatus or an apparatus which is not in good condition to get correct values. You get correct values using an apparatus which is not in good conditions because of this knowledge. So you have to pay attention. If you want to get accurate values, you should, let me say, one ways of increasing the level of accuracy is by one, avoiding, let me see, you can avoid, but in most cases it's not avoidable. You can say correcting by correcting zero errors. Good. Zero errors. In most cases, you will find an instrument with zero errors. Before you start using an apparatus, before you start using the given instrument to take measurements, and this is an instrument, meter rule. Before you use it, first find out if it has a zero mark. Because readings or measurements must be started from zero. So, which means we can avoid zero errors. If our instruments have zero marks, we can avoid zero errors by always starting from the zero mark when we are measuring. But in a case where it's not avoidable, you will use that instrument which has no zero mark, but now be able to correct the zero errors. By correcting zero errors, I'll say that, of course, any error is a wrong value. Any error is a wrong value. And zero errors, zero error, and say zero error, is a wrong result obtained when the measurement is not started from zero. Yes, you must start from zero when you carry out the measurement. So we can avoid zero errors. Zero errors can be avoided. Zero errors can be avoided by always starting from the zero mark, But in the case the instrument has no zero mark, you see people mishandle these apparatus. If you find someone working like this, leaning on our meter rule, you are wearing the meter rule such that at one point you have your meter rule having no zero mark. Someone who's well off with this knowledge of virtues can use it, but someone who's young in physics may not be able to use it. So let us have a line and we see how scientists should measure. We are going to measure this, the length of this line. The length of this line. You look for the zero. With my meter rule, actually, on my meter rule, the zero mark is exactly at the end. This place here, there's zero, but you should only see a part. You only see a part of zero. Zero is here with my meter rule. Look at this one. This foot ruler. This one's called the foot ruler. The zero is not at the end. The zero is here. So when for you use this, I don't know. Are you seeing this zero? It's not here. It is here. I put a zero exactly in this one. My zero mark should be at the starting point. Not like this. Because this space is not marked. Not marked. When you use it like this, you will get the wrong value due to zero errors. However, when you are using this ruler, we have just seen that with this ruler, the zero is exactly at the end of the ruler. So with this ruler, I will go like this. I will do like this. However, with this one, I leave some space and I put my zero exactly where I'm starting from. So let me measure and see the length of this line. Okay, this is 48.0. 48.0. This length, you can say that if this length is L, the length of this line, length L of this line equals 48.0 centimeters. However, if maybe my ruler was broken and part of it is not there, I can maybe start from 10. When I start from 10, of course now instead of my 0, it will be 10. Instead of 0, it will be 10 here. 10. 10.0. It will be 10.0. Then you will see that you will stop at 58.0. Now, when you start from 10, this will be 58.0. Now, in that case, you can't say that the length of this line is 58.0. You will have that value will be wrong due to zero errors. You have not corrected zero errors. You will get a corrected value if you say that length now is 58.0 minus 10.0 to go back to 48.0 centimeters. This subtraction is what we call correcting zero errors. When you don't start from zero, you subtract the final mark. You subtract the starting mark from the final mark. That's what we call correcting zero errors. Or before you use any instrument, first set it to 0, 0. First set it. There are some instruments that can be set to 0, 0. But this ruler, when you break it, you may not set it. The setting is in your head. That when I start from 2 and I stop at 5, my length will be 5 minus 2, which is 3 centimeters. We call that correcting zero errors. One way of increasing accuracy, which we have said, correcting zero errors. Number one is done. The first way of increasing the level of accuracy is done. And the second way of increasing the level of accuracy is by avoiding parallax errors. Parallax errors occur when you misposition yourself when you view the reading from a wrong position, you are likely to get to take a wrong reading due to parallax errors. So we define the parallax error as a wrong result obtained when the reading is taken from a wrong position. Good. When I make the reading, you should position yourself such that the reading you have to take is perpendicular to your eyes. Perpendicular. Directly in a straight line to your eyes. Don't just peep at the reading. I can't be reading this, take this reading and I do like this. I like to take very wrong values. Oh, I can't read from this side. What I do, I bring it at my eye level. When you observe this ruler, there are observers in different positions. The best position is this one. If you are taking this reading, let me put an arrow. The reading to be taken is 1.6. You can see this is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6. If the reading to be taken is 1.6, that reading will be accurately read by observer B. This observer B is going to read it accurately because he has positioned himself or his eyes perpendicular to the reading. But these ones are just peeping. They just do it this. This one, the observer A, is likely to read 1.5 instead. Is likely to read 1.5, which is a wrong result. He will have an error of 0.1. Will have an error of 0.1. Actually, you can define the error as the difference between the measured value and the corrective value. This one is measuring, this one is likely to measure or to take a reading of 1.5 when the true value is 1.6. When you say 1.6 minus 1.5, you get 0.1. There is an error of 0.1. The difference between the measured value and the true value is actually the error. Even here, there is an error of 0.1. This one is reading 1.7. 1.7. Because the eye is not perpendicular. It's not perpendicular to the reading it is trying to take. So, there are two ways. I can now go the other side, and I give you the ways of minimizing parallax errors. Parallax errors can be minimized by in the two ways. Ways of minimizing or avoiding. Minimizing. You can say minimizing or reducing or avoiding. So minimizing parallax errors. So if you want to avoid or to reduce parallax errors, you take readings at 90 degrees. You can say, you have said by taking readings at right angles, that is to say 90 degrees. Take the reading at 90 degrees. Bring the reading you want to take at your eye level. At your eye level. The second way, if you want to position yourself carelessly and still get a correct value, and still read the correct value, you can put on magnifying glasses. Using magnifying glasses, they will be at distinct positions which you can distinguish because they will be fast-paced, and so you will not be confusing them. So the second way is by using magnifying glasses. Will be far apart. This one will be here, the next one here, the next one here, such that you can't confuse them. Even if you stand here and you want to read this, you can't say that this one is now. You can't read this one instead of this because they are far apart. But the readings which are closely spaced, take caution. Put your eyes directly in the reading you want to take. We say you have taken that reading normally or at right angles. Listen, don't say 1 by taking this item 2 by using magnifying glasses, you are giving me 1 point. That is avoiding parallax errors. So these two make 1 point. These two make 1 point. When you give me 1, I explain now talk about zero errors maybe. These two make maybe 1. Like when I talk about friction, ways of reducing friction, and when you tell me oily, greasy, lubricate, those are mean 1. They mean 1. So these ones mean 1. Now, lastly, the third way of increasing the level of accuracy. Remember, what the first one was or is correcting zero errors. The second one, avoiding parallax errors. The third one is by taking, the word by is there, taking or repeating. That's it. Repeating the measurement. Repeating the measurements. Repeating the measurements and obtaining the mean value, average value, the average value. Good. When you take readings, more so in the using some sensitive instruments. Yes, there are some instruments that are very sensitive. They are sensitive to small lengths. They are likely to give you wrong values. If you carry out a series of measurements or repeated measurements, you are likely to have some correct measurements and some wrong measurements. When you add them and divide by the number of attempts you have made, you are likely to correct all the other wrong attempts and finally get one correct answer. But when you base on them and you take only one, what if you pick the wrong one? What if you pick the wrong one? So in science, we carry out, we take very many readings and we add them and then divide by the number, their number. Divided by their number. Or if by taking measurements, you see that there are some which are close together, and the other one is far away. You ignore the other one, which is far away from the rest. Maybe the first one is 10.2. You have first measured and you are getting 10.2, then 10.4, then 10.3, then 10.1, then centimeters. Then you are measuring again, and now you are getting 10.1 centimeters. Then you are measuring again, then maybe you are getting 10.0 centimeters. Then you are measuring again, and then you are getting 10.4 centimeters. Ignore this and consider this. And in most cases, this one and this one are correct. These ones which are similar, consider those ones. Take that, take it to be 10. If you make 5 attempts and you get like 3 consistent values, take those ones. But if you get some which are maybe you have gotten 10.1, 10.2, and 10.3, add them and divide by 3 because they are 3. Divide by 3, you will find that they have 10.2 centimeters. Good. In science, it is good to repeat the measurements, because when you carry out only one attempt, what if it is wrong? When it is wrong, you are gone. But if you make like 5 attempts, you are likely to have some 2 wrong values and 3. Of course, you are likely to get correct values. That's why you have more correct values than the wrong values.